Good evening. This is David Lynn, and you are watching Coffee Talk. It's 7 p.m. Christmas Eve. This is Coffee Talk number 359. And just got through having a cup of coffee and two donuts. It will be a short, I'm sure. And we'll see how it goes. So, to everybody, season's greetings. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Mazel Tov, um, whatever you'd like to say. A notification that now I'm live. Is it, you remember those old, is it live or is it Memorex? KP Heathen, my friend from Louisiana, how you doing? I actually was over, you've done a couple of live streams. You did a test one, which was about 4 minutes. You had comments turned off. I did leave a like on it. And then you had another one, and I watched some of that, and I believe I left you a comment and a like. I'm glad you're doing well. I apologize. Everybody's saying, we're sorry you're sick. What happened was I had, my wife likes McDonald's occasionally, and she brought me a Big Mac combo, and I think it was old. It didn't taste good, but I ate it, and it tore my stomach up. When I had to, 4 minutes into my live stream, I had an urge to go to the restroom, and I had to go. So that's what that was. No, I'm not sick right now, thank God. I've been sick enough. Hello, Uncle Al. I wanted to talk a little bit about the daughter's wedding. Utah Mike, welcome, Utah Mike. I got a bunch of stuff that was shot at the wedding. Little clips. I've been showing a few things here and there of, like, we went to Buc-ee's, had a real nice barbecue from Buc-ee's. I showed the continental breakfast that we had at the hotel we stayed at. The Christmas tree that was there, it was another little short I think I put up. I mean, I've got a bunch of stuff I can put up as shorts, like what the room looked like, different things. And Merry Christmas. You know, and then talk about prices and stuff. Prices. Everything's going up. Melinda Elliott. Hello, Melinda Elliott. Thank you for the like. 5 in the house, 3 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. Well, I got cleaned up today. I mean, I take showers just about every day, but today I got cleaned up, did the beard, shaved, cleaned the head. Periodically do that. I don't know. I don't like the little U around the perimeter. That bothers me. So anyway, I'm off for 2 weeks. This is day 4 of 16 days I'm off. And what they call winter break or Christmas break or whatever you want to call it. 2 full weeks off. The first semester of school ended. So when I come back, we'll have one more semester. And it'll end towards the latter part of May. There will be a spring break, which will be for a week. I'll have, I guess, 9 days off for spring break. And I'll have maybe 4 days off for Easter, when they have Easter, or Passover. 6 in the house, 5 likes. Osang, welcome, Osang. Appreciate you coming in. Good morning, my friend in the, I guess it'd be the Pacific. 13 hours ahead of me. Thank you for dropping in, Osang. I keep saying that I'm going to put forth more effort on my channel, and I just haven't had the energy to do it. Thank you for the Christmas wishes. Same to you, my friend. Oh, speaking of Christmas wishes, I got a card from Echo Carter, Echo and Dave fame. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. God bless Echo. Echo and Dave are no longer together. He's now living in North Georgia and she lives in South Georgia. Both of them are wonderful people. After about a year, just went separate ways, and that happens. They weren't married. I guess they were more engaged, or in a long-term relationship. And I've been keeping my mouth shut until, they're starting to talk about it now. They're starting to talk about it, so I knew about it right after it happened, but I try to keep my mouth shut. I don't want to be the one that spreads rumors or gossip. So I talk to people and I advocate for preparedness. Oh, you're a doomsday prepper. Well, let me tell you, I believe in being prepared for emergencies. Now, an emergency can be a day, it can be a weekend, it can be a week, or it can be the eternity. But I advocate for, okay, hurricanes, tornadoes, power outages, freezing weather, things happen, and it is important to be prepared for those kind of situations. It doesn't necessarily have to be Teowaki, which is the end of the world as we know it. It doesn't have to necessarily be that. I pray that it doesn't get to that point. But I try to explain to people that you got to have the necessities. And the number one necessity is water, clean water. Down through the ages, water has killed so many people, it's not funny. It's not funny how many people have died due to bad water, or no water. You can't go that long without water. You got to have liquids. So you need to have a clean source of water, and you need to have a good chunk of it stored up. And it's not expensive. Water's not that expensive to store. So I tell people, for immediate emergencies or just for health, drink bottled water. Drink something that's been filtered. You don't want to drink the tap water. You want kidney stones? You drink the tap water for a period of time with all the minerals and everything in it. If you're not filtering it, eventually you'll get kidney stones. I used to live in Corpus Christi for my first 40 years. And before I moved, I was probably about 32, 33 years old. Had a kidney stone. I felt like somebody stuck me in the back with a pike. Had a hell of a time passing it. I had blood in my pee. They were giving me steroids. They were giving me antibiotics. I had fever. I felt like crap. Had to go to the emergency room. They were giving me pain medication. You do not want kidney stones. And the best way to try to avoid a kidney stone is to have filtered water that doesn't have any of the mineral content in it. Yes, Uncle Al, you do want to plan for 2 weeks or a month. And most people couldn't get by for 2 days. And, FEMA, everybody says, well, FEMA's going to come. FEMA, the emergency management people are going to come. Well, yeah, they say they might come in a week. They might be there in a week. Are you prepared for that week that they're not there? Are you prepared for the week that they're not there? And I look like I'm not as fat as I appear, but it seems like I'm just. This is where all the cardi is at. Um, but so the number one thing you got to have is have bottled water. So you need to have several cases of bottled water. You're supposed to drink 8 glasses of water a day to stay hydrated. Now you can get by without drinking 8 glasses of water a day, but you better be drinking 2 or 3 bottles. And mind you, a bottle is 2 glasses. You need to be drinking 2 or 3 bottles a day of water, or the equivalent thereof. You know. So number one is water. It's not that expensive. You'll pay about $3.50 for a 24 pack of water right now. Okay. So if it's just you, and you want to have a week's supply of water, I'd have a couple of 24 pack cases. That's $7. If you can't afford $7, well, go live on the side of the street someplace. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be insulting, but I mean, I feel that way sometimes when people start talking about what they can and cannot afford. Um, so water. Second thing is food. Do you have food that will last you for a week? You need to buy. You have enough food to last for a week. Now, in an emergency, power's probably going to be out, so the refrigerator's not going to keep your stuff cold. If you're in freezing weather, it's not going to really matter. You can have the stuff out. You need a lot of just room temperature storage edibles. Oatmeal, grits, cream of wheat, food bars, soup, ramen. These little heatable meals like Hormel or Dingy Moore that are like $2.25, $2.50 a piece. That's a meal with crackers. Crackers are not expensive. Do you have a means to heat water? I send out to people. I usually send them 2 different little stoves. One that burns tabs, and one that will burn sterno or canned heat. They're very inexpensive. You have a pot. You light it with a match. You can do it inside. Now, with the tabs, you probably want to be outside because it smells bad. The sterno or the canned heat will not smell bad. You can do it inside. It'll also provide heat in an emergency. So, yes, water is a fear of mine too. So I got tons of it. Um, Now, mind you, a 24 pack of bottled water is about 25 pounds, 25 to 26 pounds. So you don't want to be carrying it around. Well, I'm going to go out to the woods. I'm going to bug out or whatever. And you have like you might have a 2 quart canteen. You might have a Sawyer straw, or you might have, a couple of bottles, spare bottles. That's not going to last you very long. You need to be where your supplies are. Not, I'm going to go out into the woods. You won't live long enough. Now, if you got a cabin out in the woods, you got a water well, you've got a set up where septic system, you got power, you got a solar set up, or you got a wind set up, or a combination. I mean, you're good to go. Well, wonderful. Be out in the woods. But that's if you got someplace to go to. My friend Dave had sent me a link to a video that somebody had done about in Georgia, out camping, how they built a shelter and all this stuff. And I hate camping because I hate ticks. You don't go out into the woods that you don't have problems with ticks. Ticks can carry Lyme. Bad situation. You do not want. And then the other thing is, you want to find the ticks. You better have somebody else that can check places for you can't reach or you can't see. Ticks are a problem. The other thing is, you don't go out into the woods without being armed. You better have a pistol or a shotgun, or you better have something other, because there are things that'll eat you. You don't go out unarmed. You know. Well, your neighbor has a pool. You do not want to drink pool water that's been treated. You want to kill your kidneys? You don't drink pool water. Nope. Uncle Al will set you straight on that one. Nothing wrong with rain catchment. I'd still filter it, and I would probably boil it. So, water, food, medication. You take medication, you better have a supply of it. And don't wait for it to run out before you go get some more. You take long-term maintenance medication, build up a supply of it. Don't wait for the stuff to run out before you go get some more. Make sure you have a supply of it if it's going to keep you living. Likewise, having a means to heat water. A folding stove, $11. Sterno, 2 cans for about $5, about $2.50 a can. If you're outside, a little emergency stove. KP Heathen has done several videos of him using this little stove I gave him. Burns tabs, a couple of tabs, comes with 24. Those are not very expensive, $6, $7, $5 for a spare set of tabs. Have plenty of the tabs. So I don't burn this stuff, but I mean, I have it, I have it, and I also give it away. I mean, I play with it, but no, I normally will use Sterno, or I use canned heat. That's what I will do when I do stuff like that. Water purification. I'm starting to give these out to people. Water purification tabs. Part A, Part B. One each will take care of a liter, or what you call a quart or a liter of, 30 minutes you'll have water just drinkable. I still would boil my water. Little Lone Prepper. Hello, Little Lone Prepper. So, Little Lone Prepper, like I said, I think I communicated to you, you are the next person, and I've already sent you something in the past, but you're going to be receiving another box from me. I just need to put the stuff together, and then I'll try to get it out after Christmas, and hopefully you'll get it first to middle part of next week. I will be sending you some of those FRHs you want that aren't worth a crap, but I'll send them to you. Just remember the stove that I sent you, the canned heat or the Sterno, the tabs. That's your bread and butter for heating water and such. And I'll send you some, if I haven't sent you some, I'm going to send you some water purification tabs. You're going to pay about $9 for a little pack of that, but I'll send you a set of it. And that's enough to do about 50 liters of water, which is not that much, but I buy lots of these. 50 tablets each. Yep. No iodine taste or color. Makes questionable water bacteriologically suitable to drink. Germicidal tablets. PA plus need that. So oh, and Little Lone Prepper, I think I told you to text me if there's been any change to your address or anything. Let me see, I'm gonna check. Where are we at here? Been a while since I heard from the ungrateful peasant. Wayne. Hadn't heard from Scott recently. Hadn't heard from Gil Patton recently. Hadn't contacted him either. Looking. Hadn't heard from Bus Stopping. God, I mean, he just dropped off the face of the earth. All right, here we go. We're still in North Carolina. Haven't moved. All right. Just checking. Well, I hope nothing happened to him, but he just dropped off the face of the earth. Hello, Holly. He just stopped. He just dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know. He was always complaining about the illegals. He was always talking about the Ukrainians. Lots of women from Ukraine. It's an odd young man, probably 30-ish. He called himself houseless. He lived basically through the government, through what they provided, where he was at, and he moved around. He would stay in rundown hotels that you'd get a 30-day. They'd pay for 30 days, and then he'd stay for 30 days, and he'd complain about it, and then he'd go someplace else, just rotating around, moving around. He used to say he'd eat one meal a day, but it was like a meal like 3 people would feed 3 people. I tried to contact him. And we would communicate. He would text me, and we would talk. And I would sort of mentor him. He always, he would ask me, "Hey, can you comment on this, or can you look at this and comment on it and everything?" We stayed, and just, I don't know. His channel is still up, but there's been no activity on it in probably over a year. And Uncle Al used to communicate with him too. Alosato. 6 in the house, 8 likes. He always said he was born in Germany. So I guess his parents, at one time, somebody was in the military or somebody had served in the military. He had spent 7 or 8 years in Germany. And then he had been in Canada, and he was here. And then his mother, I think, is an educator or some such. His mother's very educated, and he's just wasn't close with his mother, and he never mentioned a father. But that's remembering, and my memory isn't, it's not what it used to be. So before I came on, I went and bought a 6-pack of donuts today over at HEB. I hadn't had one of them. My wife ate one earlier. I heated 2 up, 2 glazed donuts, and had a cup of Folgers coffee, and I just finished it before. They were fresh for today. There's 3 left over. I can heat them tomorrow, and they'll be okay. I went and bought some pie. Went and bought a pumpkin pie. Went and bought a pecan pie. Went and bought some food, went and bought tacos. So most of the places will be closed tomorrow. So I bought spare tacos so the wife and I can have a taco in the morning. So I bought enough for today and for tomorrow because most everything will be closed tomorrow. So we have spare tacos for the morning. And anticipating, bought a couple of box lunches we'll have tomorrow. That'll be a meal, and then we'll eat something else, you know. We had our Christmas dinner with the kid before she um, got married, and she's on an 8-day cruise right now. Her cruise was, the wedding was Saturday, the cruise left Sunday at 1:30 from a port. I forget, my brain's dead. Galveston. Galveston. Cruise, 8-day cruise, Caribbean cruise for her honeymoon. Then she'll be back. Then I gotta sit her and the new son-in-law down and talk about the facts of life with them, finances and budgeting and all that crap. And yes, Dad has the right to do that because Dad also subsidizes certain things, and money talks. You want access to the money continuing. Well, I get something other in return. You know how that works. Uh, yeah. I take it easy. Yeah, 77-year-old Aunt's a handful. Yeah, she may be a handful 15 years from now. In my family, longevity, you take care of yourself, you live to be 90 years old or more. And what's bad is like the president. Times that he doesn't know where he's at, what's going on, or he's talking to people who died 15 years ago. He just, a lot of times you're living in the past, or you're not cognizant of what's going on, or you lose your train of thought. Like me, I lose my train of thought, and I misspeak occasionally, and I usually catch myself. Not good if you're the president of the United States and you're in that shape. You don't want anybody near a red button. you know, it's bad enough you're dealing with people like Putin. You don't want anybody near near a red button. You've splurged on steaks. Yeah, it doesn't have to be turkey. It doesn't have to be ham. We had turkey and ham for Thanksgiving. My wife is her birthday is right near Thanksgiving, so you can celebrate her birthday and celebrate Thanksgiving and do all that sort of good stuff together. Uh, what I have Uncle Al's always on my ass about, excuse my language, about reminiscing. Don't reminisce. Don't talk about well, I mean, my best days were in my youth when my family was alive. I was a late in life baby, so everybody is gone now. Everybody's gone. If they were alive, they'd all be past 100. You know, and my fondest memories are from the past. Yes, I'm happy to be here, and yes, I have a good life. You know, I I don't, I'm not breaking my back what I'm doing, and I have a nice home. This might not look like, but this is the man cave. This is the fourth bedroom. This is where I have all my crap. I have a right there. I have a full length couch, which I got a ceiling fan going. I turn the light off. I lay down, the door's shut, and I sleep. You know, I can be on my own when I want. I can be in my bed next door when I want. I have a king size bed. Fits the wife. When my girls were small, it would be me, the wife, and my two girls all in bed together. Everybody's wearing pajamas, and I wake up in the morning and I got a foot on my face. One of the kids got turned around the wrong way and wake up and whoop, there's a small foot on my face. You know, back in the days. pork tenderloin and mashed taters and corn. Oh, God, food of the gods. The Lord would love that food. Well, now mind you, he followed Jewish tradition, but he did basically talk about that no pork. He sort of, that's, they still practice it, but he, talk about cleanliness and all that sort of stuff. I don't think he would mind the pork. Good quality. Well, one of the problems is that those cleanliness laws and a lot of the stuff that they had, that was to keep people alive. A lot of that stuff was basically, because stuff would kill you. And so they would talk about, not eating bottom dwellers, not eating certain things, and that was all to keep you, to spare your life. Utah and Mike, we're not doing family Christmas until Friday. My sister sent me some ham and Swiss sliders, chocolate mint brownies, so that will be my Christmas dinner. Oh, I mean to tell you, I went and bought some gourmet pies today. I bought 2 gourmet pies. I bought a pumpkin, huge pumpkin, and I probably should do a short of that in a real, it's going to be delicious, pecan pie. And, like sugar cookies and all this sort of good stuff. And I've got fruit cake. I ate some fruit cake today. My wife does not like fruit cake, but I love fruit cake. 8 watching, 9 likes. Tamales are the best, Uncle Al. Yep, tamales. God. Tamales. Yep. So, oh Lord, I'm overrun with long-term food storage right now. I gotta reorganize. I've got an inventory. Stuff's been coming in. It's just piling up. I've been buying pails, if you know what a pail is. So I just got in 2 pails of long grain white rice. It's, 25-year. And I've been storing rice, and I've been storing beans, and I've been storing all this stuff. I've been storing oats. I've got 4 pails of oats back there. You can use it to make bread. You can use, oatmeal or different stuff. Bought 4 pails of that. Got it on sale. I buy stuff when I get it on sale. They get stuff marked down, like half price or whatever. I buy. So I bought 4 pails of it. Just trying to get my homemade fruit cake. Oh yes, you can get homemade fruit cake. I remember the gourmet stuff back in the day. The stuff that was just like, and and you get the stuff that they have some liqueur in it. It'd have a little alcohol. They make it without some alcohol, so it's really, the gourmet fruitcake. You can still buy it. You can go to like a place like Specs or one of these upscale liquor stores, and you can get the fruitcake. It's got alcohol in it. It's made with, would have been made with Crown or something under. It's got some, liqueur in it. Liquor. Good stuff. Good stuff. Nothing better than homemade food. My wife, back in the days, and they'd get together and they'd be, I'd go buy the fixings and they'd be making barbacoa, cow's head, lingua with the tongue, tamales, menudo. God, I love menudo. I haven't had menudo in a while, but I can still go. I can go out and get it, but I don't do it. But the wife, making menudo. Oh God Almighty! You make enough. You got enough for like 3 days. You can eat more than once, and it's still good. Just heat it up. And with onions and cilantro and put some jalapenos with it. And it's just, oh God Almighty. Just I get hungry just thinking about the food. Hello, Belinda. Belinda's Country Living. Hello. And but 9 in the house, 9 likes. Yes, our mothers, you probably learn from your mother. My mother taught me to cook. I'm nothing compared to my mother. And my wife is not a bad cook, you know. But she had nothing on my mother. You know, my mother learned from German women. Her mother and her grandmother. She learned all that. And so, back to talking about preps a little bit. As I said, water, water, water. Have bottled water, have stored water. 24 packs for one person for a week. You want a couple of those. That's $3.50 a pack. That'd be $7. That's for one person. Food and a means to heat it. Medication. Hygiene. Hygiene. Talk about hygiene. And I've talked about stuff in the past, and most of you should know, what we need to do. The ability to, light. Cheap light. USB chargeable. You can also use it to charge your phone. It's got lights to show you how much power it has. $20 Walmart. This is Life Gear. I've got Gold Zero torches, the lanterns. They're good. Got several of those. USB or crank chargeable. You can crank charge them. Do you have a good emergency radio? It'll get all the emergency channels, the NOAA and the Red Cross and all that. Do you have a good emergency? That's something you need to have. Oh, yes. My wife was saying, "Why didn't you buy cake?" I said, "By God, woman," I said, I bought a gourmet pumpkin pie and a gourmet pecan pie. Why do we need a cake? We do cake. But, I mean, please, it's just the two of us right now. The family has come and gone. So it's just us. But I did buy, and we got lots of stuff. Well, I've got two full size refrigerators. So sodas, juices, bottled waters. We got lots of stuff in there. Food. I'm just thinking about stuff. Just thinking about stuff. Looking at stuff. People have been asking about my health. I work around kids. They get everything on the planet. They come to school sick. Their parents send them sick. They get something seriously wrong with them. They go home for a couple of days. They send them back to school sick, and they're contagious. So I got the flu from one of my kids. I have been buying. I've got about oh, I've got about 60 gallons right over in the corner. Mainly 3-gallon jugs. I stack them 3 high, and got a couple of 5-gallon jugs stacked. I've got a 6-gallon portable can um, with water in it. We've got a bunch of water stored elsewhere. And so really, drinking water, we'll get by for a while in an emergency. Yeah, flashlights, battery tools, having an inverter. Yep, I've got all the, I've got stuff like that. I've got a battery bank with lithium batteries, lithium iron batteries, and I've got solar panels on the patio. I've got portable solar panels that I can unfold and stick whatever. Um, and I've got 3 Blue Eddies and 1 Pecron power stations that are chargeable, and I've got a inverter that will power 110-volt. Mostly what I like to use is 12-volt appliances, but I've got some 110 stuff. 110 burns a lot more power than 12-volt. Most 12-volt appliances are under 100 watts, and most of them are 25 to 50 watts. So, like, I use a couple of Bouge RV compressor-driven refrigerator freezers, which I just use for refrigeration. And when the thing is running, it's probably burning about 45 watts when it's running. And they cycle on and off. So I had one at school. I have one at school, and I hooked up a monitor to it, and I run it for 24 hours. It used 275 watts or watt hours, the equivalent of 275 watts for, if you have a 100 amp hour battery, that's about 1280 watts. It used about a quarter of the power of that battery. And so one battery would run that thing for about 4 days, and I have multiple batteries. The thing is, when it basically, when it's not in the heat, and you're not constantly opening and closing it, it retains. It's got insulation with it, so it's not going to be constantly on. They cycle on. It's like a refrigerator. They cycle on and off. They're on for a little while, and then once it gets to a certain temperature, it shuts down, and then whenever it needs to kick back in, it'll kick back in. So it might run 10, 15 minutes an hour, maybe. It's Lady M. Hello, Lady M. Thank you for coming. Please leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well, Lady M. Thank you for coming. And thank you for the like. 10 in the house, 10 likes. So, funny thing, talking about how your channel's growing or not growing or whatever. I picked up about 3 subscribers the day of the wedding. I've been posting little stuff here and there, and I was up to 1,831 subscribers. I was at 1,828, 1,831 subscribers. The day after, I dropped 15 subscribers. I don't know if it was a purge or whatever. And right now I'm sitting at 1,818 subscribers. So I'm like 13 subscribers down from a couple of days ago. And for the life of me, I hadn't had that happen recently. Yeah, I pick up one or two, I drop one or two, pick up three or four, I drop one or two, and I slowly grow. And I am working on eventually getting to 1,900, and then when I get to 1,900, I'll do a 1,900 subscriber giveaway. And there were 14 channels that qualified for the last giveaway, and Lady Dark Gaming won. So if you want to have an opportunity for my next giveaway, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released when I hit 1,900. I don't release that many videos. I mean, over a period of a month, I may release 5 or 6 videos. And like they say, well, you need to release 6 shorts a day. I usually release 2. Sometimes I release 1. Once in a while, I release 3. I release a couple of shorts a day. I was live streaming every day, and now it's basically weekends and when I'm able to. I'd like to get back to live streaming every day, but it may or may not happen. And I do release some videos. Usually when I send people stuff, I release a video. Somebody sends me something, I do an unboxing video. I'll do a little demonstration here and there of stuff. I don't do that many videos, but I am monetized. I'm not asking for super chats, whatever. I'm not asking people to send me money. I'm not asking people to, to join or pay me for membership. I don't put out type of material or quantity of material or quality of material to where I feel like somebody should pay me to have a membership on my, to each his own. God bless you if you do. I basically would say if you don't have the YouTube Premium, if you can run the ads, that's where I get my few pennies. Eventually they'll send me $100. I started a PayPal so they can pay me, and I'm on my way to that $100 because you have to have $100 worth before they have to owe you $100 before they will send you anything. But I'm on that way. Everybody's saying hello. Yeah, I don't doubt river water is probably contaminated. It'd be good to have a good water well, safe drinking water, deep enough to where they test it and it's got a decent flow, and then you want a manual pump on it, so the power's out. You can old school pump it and have water. If you got water, you protect that water. That water represents life. The water represents life. Water and food, and then you take medication, you better supply that medication. But that's basically what you're looking for. 10 in the house and 10 likes. Tomorrow is Christmas. We're at the end of 2024. President Trump, the new administration, and I'm not getting into politics, I'm just talking timelines. The new administration will come in on January the 20th. They will certify the election, and the electors and everything will do the count and all on January the 6th. And the new administration will come in. Hopefully, it will be a good year. 2025. I expect there'll be a lot of changes. Things I've been talking about, and hopefully, financially, people will be in better shape. Interest rates hopefully will come down. My kid was talking about buying a house. I said, not at today's interest rates. You want to let the new administration come in and do some wonders and let the interest rate come down, because every percent of interest, you're talking thousands of dollars, and it needs to come down a few percent. And under a good administration, the rates will come down. It'll be interesting to see. They've been talking about doing away with the Department of Education. That will be interesting to see, because I am an educator. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And the water company said not to drink it until they figured out where the contamination came from. Thank goodness they figured it out. Yeah, the other thing I would tell you, and a lot of people are moving, especially if you got a little bit of money. You really do not want to live in a state that has a state income tax. You don't want to live in a city in a state that has a city and a state income tax. It's the reason why a lot of people are moving to red states. And over half of the states would be considered red states. We seem to be fairly divided. There are blue states and there are red states. And then the blue states, the majority of the blue states are red states except for the big cities, which is where all the socialists live. All the socialists and people with their hands out pretty much live in the big cities. So if you look at a map of the United States about how they voted and how counties voted, you see mainly red and little pockets of blue here and there. And unfortunately, for a lot of folks, California, 2/3 of the population, or the voting population in California, are blue-pilled. About, I think, Trump got 34% of the vote in California, something like 34% of the vote. China, was it China or was it Russia? Somebody was threatening to destroy 9 U.S. cities. Now, I hate to think of all the fallout from that and all the radio fallout and all what the cost of everything, but I'm pretty sure if those 9 cities, just those 9 cities were to be hit, and you lost the population of those 9 cities, I don't think you'd ever be able to get a Democrat elected any place. Because that's pretty much those big cities, that's where they all live. If you didn't have those big cities, you'd never get a liberal elected any place, because that's where they get elected. Iran was threatening to do that? Okay. Well, I don't know. Could be they'd be doing us a favor. Like, had to go through Houston. Driving 60, 65 miles an hour, 45 minutes getting across Houston. 45 minutes. Took toll roads. I expect I'll be getting, we went both ways, did some toll roads. A lot less traffic on toll roads, freeway type toll roads. I'm sure I'll be getting a bill for $8 or $10 for that sometimes in the next 2 or 3 weeks or a month. Yeah, that's the way it is, Mike. That's the way it is. Um, I hear MSNBC is going to be sold. Uh, Musk was talking about buying it. If he does, he'll give the place an enema. It'll be like when he bought Twitter. He got rid of all the woke liberals, as he said. Yeah, Atlanta's bad. Atlanta has the county has a population of about 3.5 million. The county, 3.5 million. 3.5 million. Houston's huge, and all, and then you've got all the suburbs. So like, you're coming up 59. Rosenberg is pretty, you know. You get into Sugar Land, and then you get into Houston proper, and then you get into Spring, and Spring's on the north side, and that's where the wedding was. It had a venue at Spring, and it's like a little compound there where they got. It's all, you know. You look at 200 years ago, the way things were. It's the way it looked. I mean, they had all the facilities and everything, but the structures look like a plantation type. Nice chapel, nice hall, beautiful gardens, walkways, and you know, you got a bridal suite. They can get ready. The groomsmen, everything's parking. It's nice. But oh, and everything was bloody well expensive. I enjoyed I talked to the owner. We were talking. Matter of fact, we were talking about MREs, and we were talking about. I spent 10 minutes with a guy. We were talking about MREs and talking about halal and kosher and, you know, cold weather and all that good stuff. You know, FRHs. I hate the damned FRHs. You know, Little Lone Prepper wants to give a bunch of us, like they're not worth a crap. They're good for about the first year and a half, and then just it doesn't. Even when you put salt in them, that's why you got to boil. Well, nobody worries about the little guy. You're true. They don't care about us. They don't. And the people that vote for them are the least educated, or sometimes the most educated, stupid people. You get a lot of these woke, big university, you know, stupid people. You know, worried about white privilege, or worried about, you know, they hate, you know, they hate themselves, or they resent themselves. They feel like my ancestors. You know, I was talking to a man who had my last name, black man, and you know, his people from Georgia, my people from Georgia. That's where all the Lynns are, pretty much Georgia and Massachusetts. And I was telling him, well, you know, no offense, and just, you know, I'm a historian. One of my degrees is in history, and I said, you know, when the slaves were freed, they oftentimes would take the name of the slave owners. They'd take that family name, and that'd be their name. You know, they'd take the same name as whoever, you know, the family was. So, you know, there are a lot of blacks with the name Lynn because, you know, my ancestors, my folks back in the day had slaves. You know, and I was telling them some stories and everything, and respectfully. Everybody thinks, you know, well, you're poking at them, or you're doing, please. You know, we're just talking history. And started reminiscing, you know, talking about my father, and his best friend was black. You know, grew up thinking my father's best friend was my uncle. I used to call him Uncle Willie. His name was William. Both my father and his best friend were both named William. So I used to call him Uncle Willie when I was a kid. He gave me my first wallet. I actually thought he was my uncle, you know. And he and my father were like brothers. They grew up together. Yeah, North Carolina. God darn it. Well, I'm back to basics. I order a lot of stuff on Amazon. I have a lot of stuff delivered, and I buy a lot of stuff in bulk. I got a Sam's right there where I live, so I buy lots of stuff, bulk up on stuff. So I don't know. My wife's upset at me because I've been telling her I want to sell our house and buy a new one, something that I don't have to do anything to. This house was built in the '60s, and it's been updated. I've updated a lot of stuff. There's still some stuff I could update. I could replace the electrical panel. I really would like to redo the duct system up in the attic. There are things I'd like to do that hasn't been done. But and if I stay here, I'm gonna have to put a new roof on it eventually. But I'd like to get something that's more handicapped accessible for my old age. And no, we put too much into it. Notice, this bull. It's like, Lord. Merry Christmas, Uncle Al. Yeah, the wife takes care of the dog walks. And we had the dogs in a kennel. Oh, God, that was expensive. That was really expensive, putting them in a kennel for 2 days. Like, God darn it. It's like $250. Oh, and they had to have shots, so that was $50 a pop for shots. We had their nails trimmed. I had like a $450 bill, from the dogs in the kennel. It's disgusting. Anyway, well, if you get a home, you need to make sure it's built properly. Gotta make sure it was built properly. So you basically want to be able to observe them when they're constructing. It'd be nice if you get one, you have a builder, and you can go over there and make sure they're doing the framing right and make sure everything, that observe them and go in and inspect, because I know all that sort of stuff. I used to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I may do a short live stream tomorrow at 7 to see if anybody comes in. I understand if you don't because it's Christmas. But if you want to spend a little time, we can. Little on Prepper, I will be working on your box. I'll try to get some more shorts loaded up. And I'll do a video of your box. And I'll try to get it sent out to you so you get it this next week. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate your prayers. I pray for you. I will just basically tell you in the morning when you get up in the morning, thank God for the day. Take your medication, drink your coffee, say the Lord's Prayer, contemplate the day, treat people the way you want to be treated. Show your home training. Bless those who bless you, and bless those who don't bless you. Everybody, thank you for being here. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow or the next day for another edition of Coffee Talk. Bye-bye.